Admitting everyone.
Hello, hi Gitte,
Hey.
Glenda. Oh,
Hey,
Lisa, good to
Lisa.
see
Good to
you.
see you.
And Leonard, I'm sorry.
Hey.
Maureen, Irene, good
Hey.
to see you. Jay
Hey.
and Susan, Kirby,
Hey.
Harlan. It's so nice. Sebastian, hey.
Hey. Glad you can make it.
And Patty.
Hey.
Oh, so nice. Oh, we got more waiting.
Can I? Yeah, I can't. Nope.
No, need to admit first. It's down. Down. Perfect. Amazing. Welcome.
Hey, everyone.
So good to see you. I just want to
Hey.
say before
Hey,
we
Hannah.
start, we got some new AI stuff on the computer that it should, when we move about, it should, move and stuff. We're sitting and trying it
Maybe.
beforehand, and maybe it works and maybe it doesn't. If it suddenly gives us mustaches or we look like a horse, then you know why. Then it's AI in a better version.
It did a really freaky thing with my eyes a minute ago,
Yeah,
but I turned that off.
it had a thing where it makes eye contact that we need to turn off.
So like even if I turn my head, it still maintains eye contact moving forward.
So spooky.
Very
It's
creepy.
it's in a beta version, and
Yeah.
it definitely is a beta thing.
Yeah.
You have
Yeah.
eyes on the side of your head. Really not good. Um, so that was one thing. The other
Yeah.
thing is, Todd is a bit under the weather.
Yeah.
So we decided he's gonna sit and be a silent Buddha today.
I might still chime on, but
So,
at the moment, yeah, something happened. I was fine yesterday. I had 3 sessions, and then afterwards, it was just like I completely crashed, and something's not right.
and he
So
didn't want to go in and sleep, so he's sitting and being, stoic and silent, and you're gonna think, oh, he was so wise that day because he's just sitting and having those long, pauses, pondering on an answer, or he's deep asleep with open eyes. We don't know because we got that AI thing going, but
I,
who knows?
I am at the wisest when I'm at my most silent.
What else? Yes, another thing I want to say. Um, right now in the curriculum, it's at the last lesson in the seventh Fetter. Oh, now it moved, babe.
Yeah,
You're not.
yeah, you got centered. See, isn't that nice?
Ooh, I'm not sure if I like that.
But then I'm back, and then
And it's not centering.
come on, AI, you can do this. I have faith in you.
Come on, you can do better. It's not going to take over the world anytime soon. I really don't think it is. You're out of frame, babe. Okay.
It'll fix
Be
itself.
the stoic Buddha. Out of frame. um, we're at the last. That was a tough thing. It was not AI. There's no AI involved. We sit and do it ourselves. And we're at the last lesson in the seventh Fetter. It's the final questions that we have right now. And on Friday, there's going to be a meditation, which is basically sitting and meditating on the something out of nothing, all the things that is happening without you realizing it. So it's really becoming aware of that. What I then want to say is that on Monday we start with the eighth Fetter, and the eighth Fetter is the one that I was before I started to do the curriculum. The reason I was really, really considering if I wanted to do it or not wanted to do it, it was about the eighth Fetter, and I have already recorded everything for the eighth Fetter. And it comes with a lot of warnings and a lot of caveats and a lot of stalling before I go to really talking about it. And it's about that if you are in a good place, if you have that feeling that you are happy in life and you feel connected with with the sun and the birds and the trees, and you feel that you have that immense feeling of unity that comes when you unpin, where you are just present and aware and really just enjoying all of it. If that is where you're at, I do not want you to do the 8th feather. I would like for you to wait and do the 9th feather and the 10th feather when we release those, and go back to the 8th feather when your life starts to be unbalanced again. But don't do it when you are in a good place. And it's simply because the 8th feather is removing all belief, which is a super, super important feather to work with. But I would like for you to stay in that bubble where everything is wonderful, which basically is based on a belief. So I don't want to burst that bubble. It's also if you have that feeling of a connectedness with God or with the universe or something bigger than yourself, I don't want you to do the 8th feather. I want you to stay there as long as possible until you're no longer in a stable, until you no longer have that feeling of being united. Then work with the 8th. Then you're right to work with the 8th, to really look into how much is actually just belief. So please promise me that you are diligent by that, like that. And it's not something I say to be coy, because I really want all of you to do the 8th feather. I'm really serious. I want you only to do it when you're in a position where you don't feel that connectedness, or if you can feel that sometimes you're connected and then sometimes you're in so much doubt, then you're also right to do the 8th feather, but not before. And then the last thing is that next week we have the Q&A on Friday, and remember that it's streamed on YouTube, and it's for members of the Awakening Curriculum channel. And you come in, you're just on YouTube when you're a member at 12 o'clock Eastern time, and then it will automatically come up and you ask us questions there. If you're not a member or you do not want to be a member, then you can go to the Discord channel and ask questions in the thread that is called Q&A, Friday Q&A questions.
Yeah.
And I think that was it.
I just want to see if I talk, does it like recognize that I'm talking and then center me next? No. It
recognized that you're under the weather and should just sit and be stoic.
It worked before.
It's weird. It is weird. It's AI.
Yeah. You guys need to be centered in the frame, and you're not. Todd is off.
We're not spotlighted yet. And we also need to spotlight.
Oh yeah. All right. Thanks, Leila.
Just a little. Just move the whole computer camera a little to the side.
Well, it's not falling down.
No.
We need a better setup than what we have. It's literally in the living room with a bedroom table or whatever it is.
Todd is still off. His whole ear and right eye is gone. Oh wait, now he's leaning. Okay, there you go. Awesome.
So do you guys see something different than we do? You might actually.
I see them centered now. I don't know about everybody else.
Okay.
I think we're centered.
Pretty good. Pernille has still got a few inches on her shoulder that are there, on shoulders touching the edge. So.
Oh, interesting, because it's not on our screen. It's completely different.
Could you turn it off?
Then we're gonna be like huge. I mean, it's gonna be like we're gonna be tiny. It's gonna be like let's try it.
No.
Let's just say.
No, you're smaller. Yeah.
Does that work?
Yeah.
It's without AI. See how it works so well without AI. Okay.
But you're farther away than you normally are for your videos.
Yeah, it's because it's a new bloody computer.
And we see the microphone. Okay, it's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's fine.
It's fine. I think it's fine.
It's fine. Go for it.
We'll sort it out by next week.
Okay.
I think so. I don't think so.
Well, we can always go back to the old camera mounted on top of it, which would kind of solve that.
What I would like to do is do a seven feather meditation with you guys before we start. It's just very, very short, 10 minutes. You can nap.
Thank you.
So make yourself comfortable and close your eyes and make a deep breath and exhale. And for every exhalation you do, you feel that the body gets more and more heavy. Make another deep inhale and fall into gravity. Your body by now is probably used to, when you close your eyes and you breathe deeply, that you just feel that heaviness. It knows what is coming. Everyone. And while you're sitting here with closed eyes, I would like for you to notice that tingling sensation you have in your feet. Now I would like for you to notice, without a thought, how do you know that you have feet? And when you realize that you do not know that you have feet because you're sitting with your eyes closed, that tingling sensation that you felt in your feet is no longer located in your feet because you detach the thought. And just notice a tingling sensation. How can you allow that just to be a tingling sensation? Not placing any direction on it. Not saying that it needs to be in a certain position below of where you sit. And now notice that tingling sensation is the same in your bum. And do the same thing. Notice this tingling sensation in the bum. And then remove all thought about it. And just notice the tingling sensation. Now do you also notice that when you remove the label of where it is located, it's like you're allowing it to expand. If you just remove all labels and are sitting here and the only thing you notice is a tingling sensation anywhere. Do you notice that some of the sensations of that tingling sensation seems to be very, very far away if you're not in your mind locating it in your body? There's just tingling sensation floating around in space. Now, the last thing I would like for you to do, and for some of you it might work, for some of you it might not work, it's completely fine either way, is to notice the tingling sensation and then unpin where you're noticing from. For some of you, where you were noticing from just became another tingling sensation, and everything was just tingling sensation. For others, it did not work. It's completely fine. I would like for you now to just to sit and notice tingling sensation. And if you place a center that is noticing from here, and see if you can unpin that and just notice tingling sensation in space. Now there might be a sound that comes in that is kind of manifesting you back to a center that is perceiving a sound. But if that happens, then see if you can do the same thing with the sound. So you notice the tingling sensation. You unpin the center of the tingling sensation. And the sound, you remove the label from and just allow it to be vibration. It's just a different tingling sensation in a vibration that is not located with a center. You unpin that center. So everything is just happening in an open space. And you might need to unpin, 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 and it's completely fine. Just do that. Okay, I would like for you to come back to your body. Wiggle your toes. The moment you have a movement, wiggle your fingers, make a deep breath. And by doing those movements, you kind of get back into the body. But what we just did is done very quickly and could be done at any point you feel identification. So make a deep breath and open your eyes. So anytime you have that type of identification that is happening, you can always go back to the unpinning. What's happening?
And keep talking. Just adjusting. Oh, okay. Really nice. Thank you.
So what I wanted to say is whenever you have any type of identification, if you are identifying in any way with anything, can be a thought, something somebody says, a feeling of urgency of something that you need to do. It's very easy just to do this. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, feel the tingly sensation in your feet, dissolve the label of feet, feel the tingling sensation in the entire body, and unpin. And it really, really puts things into perspective because it makes you come back into the now that you are in right now. I had my Danish group yesterday, and where we talked about that time doesn't exist, as you also saw in the lesson. But it's very much like there's like this slice of, if you have a loaf of bread and you have just a slice, and that is the now. And then you have another slice, and that is the now. And it's only the mind that is connecting all of those slices into a loaf of bread. You can stay in this slice and just be in this, just like Eckhart Tolle is talking about amazingly in all his books, that is just being in this now with everything it encompasses. And what we then add on to it is on the unpinning. that there's no one experiencing it. It's just an open space where you're completely unpinning, and there's just an immense feeling of awe to this slice of bread. Yeah. Thank you. You want to add something?
No. I just wanted to try one thing with the camera before we go on to people.
Okay.
But did you have something else that you wanted to add before then?
No.
Right, let me just do one thing. I'm not quite ready to give up on AI. Here, start my application. Okay.
Your picture changed. You got closer to us.
Yeah. One second. Let me open this up. And source camera is busy.
The source camera is busy.
First, stop using the other application. It's weird. It didn't make us do that when we were first setting it up.
Because we're recording now.
Oh, that could be. All right, we'll just go back to the ordinary.
It's fine. It's been like this all along.
Yes, we're good.
We're good.
I'll sort it out for next time.
Yes, we're good. I just wanted to see if Sunny is here, because Sunny had a question that wrote us. Yeah, you're here. I'm just gonna add a spotlight. Here we go. Hello, my friend.
Hello.
Yep. I should be unmuted now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. I have a question. And it is because I had an experience. I was at a party with my boyfriend. We've been together for half a year, so we don't know each other that well yet. I come with a history of a family that was alcoholic when I was small. So I grew up in this environment where drinking equals unsafety, and drinking and drunk people equals not being taken care of as a child and having uncertainty about how to get to school next morning, lunch packs, dinner, napping, when you have to go to bed, etc. And at this party, I experienced him and his friends being festive, and they were drinking because it was a social event with a big dinner and it was a very big birthday party. So there was lots of wine, etc. But I felt that people were drunk, and I had something to drink early in the evening, but then I stopped because I didn't like to drink more. And I felt as the evening progressed, my boyfriend, he was very loving. I knew only him at the party, and he was very caring for me. He was around me all the time. He was very sweet. He was very smiling, attentive, everything. But because I come with this history, I can see so fast when people have a little bit of blur because they have been drinking something, etc., and movements getting. So I get to feel this fear in my body that now I'm being unsafe. Now this is escalating into something I cannot control at all. I want to get away. I don't want to be there. I feel frightened, and because it was him, and because I like him so much, that he is like my safety person, then I really felt like this is danger, and I really felt afraid. And I couldn't really say. I tried, but it's difficult also. And then at some point in the evening, some of his friends, like a good friend, lifts him up, like physically lifts him up, and he drops him. So my boyfriend is being dropped on the floor. And for me, that was sort of first thing. My first thought was that I could have literally physically harmed his friend because he dropped him. I was so mad. I didn't know what to do. Madness was, but I contained it because, but I looked very angry. I didn't yell or anything, but I really got afraid, and I could have cried. So I know that it was fear because I was so close to crying. And then I said to him a little bit later, maybe half an hour later, I said, we need to leave. And we sat down and we talked, and I tried to explain, but it's difficult in that situation. So yeah, And we left the party at some point, and we went home and we slept, and we spent the next day talking this over a lot because he needed to know what happened. Because for him, it was not an unusual situation. Yes, well, somebody shouldn't drop you. Yeah, of course. But yeah, he didn't feel that anything was unusual. I felt so afraid, but I know this is my issue. I know this is because I am so afraid when people around me are drunk, especially people that I like. I haven't been a party girl in my young years or anything. I hate drunk people. Yeah, it's so difficult to me, but I want to be with him. I want to be able to go to parties with him in the future. I want to be able to not feel this immensely unsafety and fear.
Yeah.
Well, it's not because I want it to go away, but I need to find a way together with him.
Yeah.
But he's not supposed to change.
No.
I know that.
Yeah.
So, and he was he was the most loving person. So, yeah.
You're saying all the things that make me feel that we can talk about it on the level that we're going to talk about it. Because the first thing is obviously for anybody listening that recognize themselves in the same situation, that you really need to ensure that you are in a safe relationship, that there are no red flags of any kind in the relationship. If there is, then my reply would have been completely different. But because he, as you say, he was very loving and very kind, and he was just drunk and happy at a party and thinking he's 20 and his friend can lift him. I mean, come on, guys, you're 50. But it is how it was just having fun, and to him it was nothing. It's like good mates, and there's nothing there. And also that even though he was drunk, that he was completely fine with, if you want to go, we go. That's another very green flag in a relationship. And that you spend the next day, and even though he cannot relate to what you're saying at all, because it was not his experience at all, he completely allow you to have the experience that you have. He's not trying to change you in any way, and you have no wish to change him in any way. You're very, very clear that this is a childhood issue that you need to deal with. So based on that, my reply is going to be accordingly. If anybody listens to this and your situation is different, then our reply probably would be very, very different.
Yeah.
I love that you see so clearly that this is, that there's a direct connection in the feeling in you that you had at the party, that you had as a child, when the adults starting to get drunk. You knew you would have to tuck yourself in, you would have to sort out dinner, you would have to set an alarm to get to kindergarten or school next morning, you would have to make sure you got breakfast and everything was ready, lunchbox and all that, and sort yourself out. So completely no parental guidance at all, which is very, very normal when you come from an alcoholic family. That neglect that adult children of alcoholics have experienced is something that is marking you in a way that is rarely talked about. And it is really, really important to be aware of, because you see danger everywhere. Like you say, the moment a person starts to get tipsy, you get like fearful right away. You are 5 years old, 7 years old, 10 years old. You are exactly there. It's not the situation that you're in with a healthy relationship and a completely normal Danish, 50-year-old birthday. You are no longer there. You are back in your childhood. Like we very, very often say, that when feelings like that come up, it's not about the story. It's not about you coming from a dysfunctional alcoholic family. It's about all the things in you that has not been met. It is not a 1982 issue. It's a 2024 issue. It's an issue that is happening, arising right now. The past does not exist. It only exists in your mind. But what was not met back then is what has been begging for you to meet it all those years up until now, where you're finally mature enough to look at this. You are in a stable, safe relationship where you are surrounded by the same safety that you as a child felt that you had in your parents, even though you didn't. Children tend to create a story that they are safe even when they're not. So you have the same feeling of safety now for you to actually address it. So for you not to run over the hills, but really wanting to address this and look at this is showing the maturity that you have now. So what I would recommend for you to do is to feel into your body. When you say that the moment they start to drink, I feel fear, that is a label. It's not what is actually going on in your body. There's a contraction somewhere. There's a feeling of ick somewhere. There's a wanting to escape and run away somewhere. But you need to stay in the feeling. All those distractions by putting a label on, I'm fearful, or I get defensive, or all of that is small labels that in its own right is a diversion away from how it actually feels to be in the body right now. Do you hear what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
So in the situation, if we go back to how it was at the party, and you start to, do you remember the moment you saw, because you felt that you had had enough alcohol before all this started? So you stopped drinking before all this started. When you then see that he is tipsy, he might come over to you and give you a hug or something like that. It might be a smell, it might be slurry words, it might be the not quite eye contact, it might be so many different things that you recognize. But one of those things was the big thing that gave you a feeling in your body. Do you recall how it felt in your body?
It feels like my shoulders are going in front and I want to protect myself. Yeah, and I feel difficulty in breathing normally.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm hyperventilating or anything, but it's just like it's constrained in somehow of the breathing.
Okay.
But it's especially the shoulders. It's not around the head, it's upper body.
Could you position your body like it is?
Yeah.
So if you position your body the way that you feel, close your eyes, that's better. And then imagine that you're standing and you smell the alcohol, or he says something and you have that feeling. What is happening in your body right now?
My shoulders want to go further in front.
Do that.
And I feel heat.
Yeah, do that. Where do you feel the heat?
Around the shoulders, arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there a feeling inside when you do this?
It's just, it wants to go away. And I get a lump in my throat.
Okay.
And my shoulders are going up. They don't want to stay down at all.
Yeah. But just sit and feel the lump in your throat, and the shoulders, make them go a bit up. And feel the lump in your throat. Your facial expression just changed. You're more closed down in your face than you were before. Between the brows, and you're biting your teeth. Your jaw is very tense, which means that you also have a tension in your pelvic floor and in your knees. Just sit and feel this contraction in your entire body right now. Is there a feeling coming up?
When I think of the situation, I just wanted to get away.
Yeah. So it's a feeling of unsafety.
Yeah.
Okay. When you were sitting, sit with your eyes closed. Maintain this position that you're sitting in right now. And do you want to do the eye circles with me?
Yeah.
Okay. So I would like for you to look up at. Yeah, you need to get back in the position again so I can see where you are. Okay, could you bite your teeth a bit? Clench your bum and make fists. There we go. And then I would like for you to look up at 12 o'clock with closed eyes and think I'm safe. Look at 1 o'clock. I'm safe. 2 o'clock. I'm safe. 3 o'clock. There was something there. Could you go back to 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock and 2 o'clock? And could you go to 4 o'clock and up to 3? Could you sit and breathe a bit there? What is happening there in the body?
I don't like the tension.
Yeah. Okay, look at 4 o'clock and 5 and 6 o'clock. I'm safe. And 7 o'clock. 8. Go back to 6 o'clock and 7 o'clock and 8. Go back to 7 o'clock. What is happening there? You have a,
It's like,
yeah, go on.
it's difficult to look down there.
Yeah.
The eyes don't want to go there.
Yeah. Could you go between 8 and 6 o'clock a few times? Just make an inhalation and exhale, and inhale and exhale, and go between 8 and 6. Keep thinking I'm safe. Is it easier with the movement now?
Yeah.
You had a tension in your neck that is not there anymore. So if you
But
look,
it
yeah.
doesn't feel safe at all because I'm so tense.
Okay. Okay. 9 o'clock. 10 o'clock. 11 and 12. And now we're doing it the other way around, but where you think I'm unsafe. So 11 o'clock. 10. 9. Okay, back up to 11. And make a deep breath. You stop breathing there for a moment. And 10. 9. 8. I'm unsafe. And 7. And 6. And 7. And up to 8. Is it easier to move when you think I'm unsafe now? If you move back and forth a bit.
I don't know.
You don't have the tension in the neck. Let's go to 6 o'clock. And 5 o'clock. And 4. 3. Okay, go back to 4 o'clock. And 5 o'clock. Okay, 4 o'clock. And then make a deep breath. Think I'm unsafe. What is happening there?
It feels like it corresponds to the feeling in the body to say I'm safe. Unsafe.
Unsafe is there. Okay. Look between 5 o'clock and 3 o'clock and keep repeating I'm unsafe. And just sit and breathe. Your breath changed. How does it feel in the body?
I had to let go of the tension in the bum, or the
Yeah.
Forceful tension.
Yeah. Good, good. And 3 o'clock. And 2 o'clock. 1 o'clock. And 12 o'clock. Make a deep breath. Keep your eyes closed. How does it feel to be in the body now?
It feels like it knows the feeling.
Yeah. Okay, I would like for you to shake your body. Keep your eyes closed. Shake your body. Give a proper shake. Okay. And now when you're sitting where you're sitting now, see if you can think back to the party where he comes over to you. Is it still charged?
No, not as much. I really don't know. It's like my body doesn't want to go away immediately now, and the
No.
shoulders do not want to crunch.
Yeah, I
Punch.
think it's because we need to go a bit back. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember a time when you were a kid where a sudden party would break out and you would know that you would have to tuck yourself in and make dinner and breakfast and all of that? Do you remember a certain incident? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, and sit and breathe with that. How does it feel in the body?
It's the same. It's the lump in the throat and the shoulders go in front.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you be with the memory of the little child then and still be here in 2024 with me at the same time?
Yeah.
So you have an adult with you now as a child?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like for you to look at 12 o'clock. And just breathe into it. What mantra would you like to have, that you're safe or you're unsafe?
I would like to have him safe.
You're safe. Okay. 1 o'clock. Do you feel she's safe?
Yes, and I feel love for her.
You feel love for her. Good.
Yeah.
And 2 o'clock. And 3 o'clock. And 4, 5, and 6. Back up to 5 and 4. And just have your eyes go between 4 and 6. There's something in that area. Just breathe into it. Are you safe?
Yes, I am safe.
Good. 6 o'clock. And 7 o'clock. 8 o'clock. 9, 8, and 7. Okay, go between 7 and 9. And breathe into it. Are you safe?
Yes, I'm safe.
Okay, up to 9, 10, 11, and 12. Make a deep breath. Keep your eyes closed. Now, when you think back to your childhood with the alcoholic parties and you feeling unsafe, is it still charged?
I can feel I don't want it to go away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it okay for it to be there and be a part of you?
Yeah.
Not to go away?
Yeah.
Is it okay for you to incorporate this part of your childhood into your life today, that you at this point in your life need extra safety from you and extra security and from you, not from an external source, but from you, the 2024 Sunni?
Yes, it is okay.
Yeah.
I will have to keep remembering that I'm safe when I come across situations in the future that resembles this.
Yeah.
And yeah. But I can also feel that I don't want to avoid getting into situations like this. I don't want to say forever,
no,
I'm not going anywhere.
because you don't have to.
No.
You are safe.
Yeah.
Okay, shake your body, make a deep breath, and open your eyes when you're ready. It's not about you avoiding situations or anything, because the memory that you have is just a metaphor for you today needing reassurance from you. You know, you need to reassure you in your everyday life that you are safe. And when you also need to acknowledge when you feel unsafe, that right now I feel unsafe. Sunni, I feel unsafe. Can you make me feel safe? You know that you in 2024 can make you feel safe.
So we agree that when I feel unsafe, and when I have that initial, I want to run, I want to go away, I want to leave, that I can breathe into it and I can feel it and I can embrace it and I can love it and say I am safe.
This wonderful, powerful 2024 woman sitting in front of me here, can she protect that feeling that the little child has and make her feel safe? You are safe right now. Look around you.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's no threat. There's no alcoholics. No. There's no beating or unsafety or neglect or anything. You are safe, which means whenever it comes up as a metaphor, the 2024 Sunni can handle that. You can reassure yourself, I understand, you're safe now. I have created a life around us. We are safe. And because you had that feeling, I don't want it to go away yet. It's because there's more that needs healing. So don't be forceful about that feeling going away.
No.
Every time it comes up, it's a reminder to you that right now you need more compassion, kindness, and love. And then you give yourself compassion, kindness, and love.
Yeah.
It's just a metaphor.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Do you have
that was
anything?
amazing. Yeah, I had written down a few things. You covered some of it already. Well, the one thing that I was going to start with, but you covered that well, is like, I love this whole practice and doing all of this. But also, if you're in that situation, and just in general, to recognize those things, like when you're feeling that feeling of unsafety, notice all around you, if it's true, like externally, which you covered, and remind yourself, I am safe, I can breathe, I can feel my feet on the floor. Like getting into even not just those sensations of unsafety, but just other grounding sensations can be really useful in that moment, to recognize that how much of what I'm actually experiencing right now is in my mind compared to in the actual environment around me. And then the second part of that is, once you've recognized that, okay, the world is not, or the room I'm in is not objectively unsafe at this point. People are laughing and having a party and nobody is throwing weapons or anything like that. So then also recognize that those sensations that you're feeling, like, because the phrase that you used is that you feel, I forget exactly the phrase, I just took down the notes, but you felt tension, which was telling you that you were unsafe. So there's a belief that those sensations actually mean something true, that those sensations, if they're there, is an actual indication of something in your environment being a certain way, but it's not. It's an indication of an old habitual bodily reaction to a type of situation. And as you said, it's a metaphor. It's something that's no longer relevant in this current situation. So that sensation, just because it's there, doesn't actually mean you're unsafe. It's just an old sensation that's appearing. And so looking at it from that standpoint, where what you're feeling there isn't actually unsafety. What you're feeling there is a very old common sensation that you felt in certain situations over time, and you have generalized that every time I feel this sensation, it means I'm in an unsafe situation. And so there's an assumption that's happening there. But it doesn't mean that because you feel it, you are actually unsafe. So it's separating out the feeling from the actuality, so that you start to get that perspective that just because I feel it doesn't mean it's true.
And I just want to add to that this was what you did with anxiety and agoraphobia and all that.
Absolutely.
This was exactly it. So if anybody's sitting out there and have anxiety or depression or agoraphobia or anything like that, like Todd just said, is really noticing that it's not real.
Yeah.
It's a sensation in the body that is giving a signal as if it is real.
Yeah.
But that can be questioned.
Yeah.
That can be questioned and felt into, and just be
exactly
with what is present in this moment.
Yeah. And of course, if the objective reality is that you are physically unsafe, then it's not just to
Then
bypass
get away.
it. Yeah, exactly. Then
Get
act
away.
on it, because that's there for a reason. But if there's no other sign, if nobody else in the room is acting as though there's anything unsafe here, that's a good indication that you can question, am what I'm feeling, is what I'm feeling actually a reflection of this, or is it a reflection of something else that's happening in there that has no connection to this in any 2024 way. And then the other thing that I had written down is that I think, even though we aren't talking about this aspect of things or haven't discussed it in this, the situation that you brought up is, I think, something relevant to look into just for everybody too. Like you said that, with your boyfriend, you feel very safe. He's kind of your safe person. But there's an issue, because when he's drunk, he is different. He's not the same person. There's an assumption that everybody is a monolith. Everybody is the same. Pernille is the same Pernille night and day, drunk or sober, tired or awake. It's not true. It's not true. There's a safety that it's like a myth that we hold on to feel safety, that everybody around us is the way that I believe them to be, and they are that way all the time in any situation. And of course, our experience is very much not that, but we conveniently ignore that. So something to get into contact with is that insecurity that you feel about people being able to change, about people not being consistent from one moment to the next, and in one state of inebriation versus another.
That is particularly important for anybody that has had a dysfunctional childhood, that feeling that one moment you felt safe and the next moment you were unsafe. And that was why you were alert. You were reading a room and you could hear on footsteps coming down some stairs that, oh, now I need to be careful. That feeling gives you an adulthood where you're seeking security and safety all around you, and it needs to be unchangeable. So like you say, that Sunni, what you said, that your boyfriend needs to be the safe pillar that you need, and that needs to be unchangeable, because you cannot be in a body that feels unsafe. But reality is, like Todd says, nobody is the same all the time. Nobody's the same, and he needs to be set free, not to be the same. He needs to be allowed to be sad one day, tired another day, drunk another day, loving another day. He needs to be set free to be everything, so he can have like a full exploration of his experience in a life. Just like we need that. We need the same. We need to be in safe and unsafe environment. We need to go into all the rooms and experience all of it, so we can become free in all environments. that we experience. So it's a really good point you have there.
Yeah, that's very good knowledge, bringing into that people are not the same.
Yes.
Even though, I have never reflected upon it. I've just felt that it gives me unsafety when people are not the same.
Yeah.
When it's actually a natural thing.
Absolutely normal thing. Yeah. Nothing is persistent or or unchangeable ever.
Good.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Love it so much. Thank you.
Yeah. Same.
Okay. Yeah, lots of love.
Lots of hands. Hold on. Let's see. Spotlight. So we got Anna next. Hello, Anna.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Don't know who I am or where I am anymore.
That's good.
That's a good place.
That's a good place to be.
It is actually a very strange place to be. That's what I wanted to talk to you about. Like about a week ago, something happened with that sense of boundary. It was just like no there anymore. It's just like boundary. Seems like I remember like I was sitting with visual field and looking into that with that like relaxed gaze and listening to one video. And I noticed like a visual field like softened. And there was like a wee light static and like snowflakes, some kind of movement within eyes. I was just like, oh, okay. And then I got up, it was my lunchtime. I start working, and I just like, oh, it seems like boundaries softened also. And next thought, like boundaries? What boundaries? I just like, oh.
That's amazing.
Incredible.
But I still like subject-object perception is here, but everything is like very shifting at the moment. So it can be, you just sit like this, and it feels like I can't even say the subject object because it feels like it is there and it's here same time. You can't find location. There is like no location, that type of way. And at times it feels like a visual field, it just like comes closer to you and just like puts like a hood over, and it feels like it replaces all your head.
That's a great way to describe
But
it.
it's same time I see over there as well. It's just like you're here and there. You see both like that type of way. And it's like with like all other senses, they were before like this, so visual joined other senses as well now. What happens now in the last few days, there is like so many, so subtle shifting, very, very, very subtle, something very subtle, and like releases through like laughing and crying, just something like notice and then there is cry, and something notice and then there is ha 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 ha, just laugh, things like this. And so there's a sense of like personal me, that like a first Fetter thing, or I don't even know what it is. That doership, like there's someone doing something that's goes away and comes back, that type of way. So at lunchtime, I was sitting today and eating that salad, and next thing, like there is that salad bowl and eating and seeing and tasting and hearing and all like it's just like feels like I'm eating myself and tasting like everything just like me. And next thing is just this sense of me is no there any longer, and it's just experience without any me in it. And then I'm getting up and I'm back into like this is me walking and doing.
It's amazing.
Right, it's just like this, and like I looked into I don't know, I think that it's Fetter 7 when you go like into like there is no body and like sensations, like when you close your eyes, like there is no body, just like sensations, and they are like localized. And you could say, like, it just feels like you're falling into a tube somewhere. Just like that. It's just like so, like here and same time everywhere. And so I was sitting like this morning, I just like, is that it? That's what this like non-duality is. Because I was like, that's that like Fetter 7, like no substance thing. Because is that what it is? It's that like you don't start to see things like, I don't know. There was like at one moment I was sitting and it felt like, not visually, sometimes it's always also feels like very, very, very subtle movement, maybe. And sometimes it feels like air is moving, but that's not right. It's just like there is some kind of movement. And sometimes it feels like it's like complete transparency. And like you see like through water, and that visual is like reflection on water, just different kind of things. But my expectation was, like when it does this non-duality, there will be like some fireworks and something's going to extremely change in perception. So is that that's
Oh yeah. The change in perception is that things are not what you think they are. That you are setting things free to be free flowing, and what in one moment looks to be very, very solid, sudden get like edges that are just like that. Or you can even question, is that out there or in here? That whatever you perceived things to be with the seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, all of a sudden it's not that. It's not the other thing either. It's completely free to morph and be whatever it is in this moment. And the more you get used to it, the more it's just like how it is that a sofa is solid and then it's not, and then a sofa is me and then it's not, and it's just that morphing, because you're allowing things to be free as they are. You're no longer restricting experiences to be in a certain way with expectations and all of that. You just allow, without assumption and expectation, you just allow things to be as it is in this moment, and allow it also to change or not to change.
Okay. So that's simple, it is.
It is that simple. It is that simple. And then the next step that you will experience is that all of it becomes very, very clear that it's just mental fabrication, all of it. All of it, all of it, all of it. That we put a label on and saying this is how it is. It's not really. It's like saying that this is a woman. This is a raindrop. How can we be so utterly certain and sure that a woman has those features? How many of you know women having the same features? There might be some of them that are the same with a raindrop. It's the same thing, that we cannot put anything into a little box. And when we when we really realize that those small boxes are just mental formations, all boundary to everything is not there anymore. A raindrop is a woman is a leaf is the air. Everything is just a part of everything without any boundaries or boxes.
I think something like that's starting to happen, because there are moments when like it's just like just what is, that visual, just whatever that is, colors and shapes, even so much said. And the next thing, like there is like car, and next thing like, oh, how did car just became car? And then like back into that, like boom, like flips back into that.
Car is a mental formation, exactly. Yeah. No, sitting and looking at it is mental formation. All of it is mental formation. Everything is just, made up, like Hannah says.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I couldn't, because this morning I was like sitting and it really feels, like what people are talking about, this like 6 and 7 and all this, and this sense of I am, which is Fetter 8. And I just like, it can't be, it just can't be. There has to be something else. It just can't be this.
It's that simple. It's that simple.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I just like such a big deal. And that's all what it is.
We're making so much something out of nothing. This is not a big deal at all. At all. At all.
Gosh, I couldn't get over. I just like, no, that can't be right. It can't, there has to be something else. It has to be something like something has to be. Like, it can't be that.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I think I need to start to believe. Oh, okay.
Just drop all the beliefs and the thoughts about it and just allow what's there to just show up as it shows up, and don't get caught up into whether this is sixth fetter, seventh, eighth, non-duality, or anything else. And just allow each thing to be as it shows up without putting anything on it, label or conceptual framework or utility or anything else.
Mm-hmm. It's like, because other senses, like sound, especially sound, at the first one, like I noticed. And then the rest, like they joined, but visual still, like there was like a barrier in that, but that started shifting. And I remember like one day I was trying to do like Kevin's inquiries. But I can't. It gets me so much in the head. It just doesn't work for me at all. Whatever ways this mind is working, brain, it just doesn't seem like that's the right way to explore the senses. So I just like sat and I just relaxed and just tune into sound, and I just like allow sound to show visual how it is, that type of way. Yeah. And once you sit and you don't even think and you don't do anything, that visual comes and it does shows itself exactly the same way as sound is showing all the things.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anna. Love it so much. Thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
And we got Maureen.
Maureen.
Hello, Maureen.
Hello.
Hello. So nice that it's the fall and we're back on in a regular situation. So I have a question. I've been inspired by Todd and Daryl's conversations and wanting to spend more time being aware of selfing and questioning it. So recently, maybe a couple of months, my jaw has been bothering me, just clicking and sliding. And this morning I had my dentist recommended a physiotherapist that specializes in that. But I'm always reluctant to pay for a service. I mean, I'm generally healthy and it hasn't come up very much, but I sat this morning after I made the appointment and I was just, okay, let's look at the beliefs that are there. So it was expensive and I have the money to spend. So it's just old beliefs about that and that maybe I can do it myself. So I recognize the self in that, and that the perspective of a chooser, that somehow I can choose. I choose to not make the appointment or I choose to make the appointment. And I can see cognitively, I get it, that neither of them are actually choices, that they come from whatever's come before, and that my habitual response of not making appointments came from whatever, and now something new is in the mix, and so a new response. But I'm wondering, what else can I do with this? Is it just about I've done what I've done and then I move on to the next life opportunity to look again? Or is there something deeper to take this that could be helpful?
Well, in my experience, whatever is happening with the body always have another dimension to it as well. There's nothing only in one area. So just like we had with Sunni that did the exercises where that contraction here and the knot in her throat created a feeling of not being able to breathe and all of that. That comes with lots of jaw tension and a lot of feet issues and a lot of knee issues, because everything is connected with, psychosomatically.
Okay.
So what I would look into is if you put your fingers, how can I explain that? Do you know where the muscle is for the jaw?
Well, I know where the joint is.
Okay, if you go from the joint, if you open your mouth and go from the joint, then if you have the joint here and you have the jawline here, here is the muscle. So it's like a triangle. And if you push in, you can feel the muscle move.
Okay.
Do you feel the muscle? It should be really sore. How can I explain where it is?
So is it on bone as well? Like it sort of feels...
Yeah, if you imagine that you have the joint, I don't know if you can see it
This
here.
one?
You have the joint up here. You have the jawline here. The muscle I want you to push is here.
It's like the last bit before it goes to just open cheek, right? Like right there.
It's there.
Okay.
You feel the sore there?
Yeah.
Is it in
So
the
it's
open
not the
cheek?
edge of it, it's like the flat part of it.
Yeah, we can call it a flat part.
Yeah. Because it's like you can feel on the other side of it, it just goes to cheek. I think
Okay.
kind of feel like
Yes.
pushing
Okay.
in.
Yeah.
But instead
Yeah.
of pushing on the outside edge of it, she's saying like push like on the flat
Okay.
side of it.
Where it's kind of like down by the bone.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think you need to go a little bit further down and
Yeah,
towards the ear. There we go. Are you sore there?
Yeah, I'm pretty much sore everywhere I was.
So
Okay.
if you sit and you push in there, and then I would like for you to squeeze your bum cheeks and curl your toes so you make your foot small. Do you feel that you're tensing up in your jaw by doing those things?
So, yes, I think there's tension
Is
there to start with, and then I can feel that there's more. Mhm.
So that tension you have here is the same tension as when you're squeezing your buttocks and when you're squeezing your toes and making yourself like tense and small. The muscles here is about pulling yourself together, pulling yourself up by the bootstraps. So you saying, I don't need to go to a physio, I can take care of that myself. It's just reinforcing. Can you be weak? Is it okay to be weak?
Mhm. That's an interesting question because I feel I feel I feel weak in certain ways. I have a husband who's quite a bit older than me who's taking care of so much. And um, so there is a feeling of weakness in having uh, weakness and um,
But
uh,
when you're taking care of others, who's taking care of you? That's where the bootstrap come in.
Did I? Well, I want to clarify because I'm not sure. I heard it differently than you
Oh,
did.
okay.
So, do you mean that you feel weak because he has been taking care of so much, or was it that you are taking? Because I heard it that you meant that has taken care of so much.
Yeah,
Right.
that's been he's felt responsible. He's been good at it. So this in so many ways, he has looked after things, and I have, until you two and this interest, been quite comfortable just going along with that. And now that's definitely shifting, and I'm certainly taking up space.
Nice. Nice.
So yeah.
I don't understand.
So she feels like he has been doing everything for so long, and she's been okay just letting him kind of take control and do things.
Finances. I mean, he's loving, he's devoted, but they're, doing having that role of making the phone call to the car insurance and looking after the finances, doing the taxes, in so many different ways.
Do you feel like you can, like you're able to, if something, God forbid something happens to him and now it's all on you, do you feel like you are up to the challenge that you just haven't had to do in the past, or is there a self or
No, I mean, I've started a notebook. So I'm, okay, so if this happens, what do I do? There's a 16-year age difference. So he's,
Yeah.
that is going to happen most likely, that I will be in a position to need to do those things for myself. And I kind of have a feeling, well, there'll be someone there to help. And there's a disinterest in me in some of that. I don't really want to do that.
Yeah.
It doesn't interest me. I don't want to wrap my head around that. But I'm sure it will be okay, and I will figure it out. But there's been, he doesn't like the windows open in the winter when the furnace is on, because then you're heating the outside. And so I've never opened the window, little ways that just kind of go along with, instead of taking up space. And which so all of these things are waking up in me now.
So yeah,
Sorry.
go on. No,
well,
you,
I was just gonna say the first thing before I forget is notice, like, when you feel like that sort of disinterest in taking on these things or learning how to do the things or having that, notice if it's really a disinterest because there's just something not particularly appealing about it, or if that's actually a way of distracting yourself from some uncomfortable feeling that's under there about the possibility of having to do it, or what it might say about you that you haven't done it or haven't taken that responsibility, or just notice if there's any judgment, self-judgment in there, or any sort of feelings of being, something that it points to. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but something that it points to for you that is maybe a little bit more uncomfortable than just a general, just not really that interested. It's just not my thing. See if it's being completely honest.
That's entirely likely.
and also look for the connection with the jaw. How are those connected? Because that was what we started to talk about.
Right, you were talking about pulling myself up by the bootstraps.
Yeah.
So is that what I'm doing now by taking up space? And
yeah, it might be that you, again, now I am putting words in your mouth. It might be that it feels like having to do all that is really, pulling yourself up by the bootstraps, and really, now I have to do it and make it into a bigger deal than it actually is.
But I don't have to do it, and I'm still not doing
it. You're starting to write a notebook because you are preparing for him to die, so you have to do it.
True. And that feels reassuring because I'll be able to change it.
Yeah. Is it made into a bigger deal than it is? Calling the auto mechanic if something happens to the car and
I don't know. But I think it is a good idea to look into why
yeah.
I haven't done those things. I mean, he's very capable in certain things, and he's sort of a do-it-myself kind of person. But now it's like, no, I have to be there. I want to see what you're doing because I want to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
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 But I want to say I have found the value of, like, I had talked to you before about an adductor muscle in my left groin, and you had suggested to me that I massage where it meets the pelvis. And then some other point you talked to Anna. Anna had a very similar question, and you said, okay, well, I'm just going to put it right out there, and that it's needing to look at issues of sexuality, something to that. And as soon as I made that obvious connection, I became aware of certain things, and it almost completely cleared up, like
Yeah.
85%. I mean, this has been there for 30 years or more.
Amazing. Amazing.
And just like it was, oh, okay, yeah, well, I can see that now. I can see what I do and how was just in that little moment.
It's amazing. Okay, then I had completely forgot about that. I have a memory that completely clear. After the meeting is done, everything is cleared out. I don't remember anything. So I'm really happy you reminded me. I remember now when you said it. I would recommend you to take the percussion music, the drum circle music that Todd he made, and put it on and wiggle your bum, because the bum is connected with the jaw, and having wiggle that and loosen up in the muscles in the bum and in the pelvic and in the jaw as well, and see where it takes you. And if sound is coming out, then say what needs to be said, or roar into a pillow, or whatever is needed, and see where it takes you.
Okay. Now, I assume you don't think I should cancel my physio appointment because I can do it myself.
Well, why would it hurt to go to a physio and have somebody look at it?
Right. Well, it's expensive, and maybe I can do it myself.
Yeah, but maybe you can, but what's the deal? Why not go to a physio?
Yeah. Well, I guess because
you have people that are specifically educated to look at your jaw. Why would you go like, nah, me non-educated looking at my jaw, I'm the expert here? Why is that? We're living in such a privileged society where we have nerds that only want to work with a jaw for the rest of their lives. Why should we not go and lean on their expertise? I'm sure I can do plumbing as well. I'd rather call a plumber.
Yeah.
It is a useful thing to look into, though, with, like you had started off saying that because you were inspired with the Daryl talks, to look into in that moment when it feels like you can make a decision to either do this thing or not do this thing, to want to do this thing or not, because you know, at least cognitively, that you can't, there's no you in here who is accumulating all of this knowledge and making a decision. It's relevant right then to have the awareness of what is actually inspiring the decision one way or another. It's not that you're really doing the thing or not doing the thing. It's more that there's an ability, at least on this level of speaking, to be aware of the actual behavior one way or another, even though you're not effectively changing it. It's like, if you were what do you call it? Not a bee beekeeper, bee scientist. The word is skipping me. But like, if you're just like watching the bees coming in and out of a hive, you're not directing their behavior. You're not like making the bee come out and fly to the left or to the right. You're just taking note of why it's happening. Why? Well, when they come back, when they go to the right, they seem to be going to that field because there's like a field of sunflowers over there, and they seem to like that. When they go to the left, they're going over to the honeysuckle over there. You can kind of see what's driving the behavior and just why they're going one place or another. But for you, it's just interesting to see what is behind the possibility of not going to the physio versus going. What feels in you? Are there physical sensations that show up for one of those options but not the other, or different physical sensations in one versus the other? Are there thoughts that pop up in one way or another? Does it connect to something deeper? Does it connect to some older insecurity or feeling of wanting to prove yourself? Or is it a concern about finances? Or, there's like, it's really just getting down to not trying to act out a certain behavior, but just being really curious as to why it feels like you are being pulled one way or another. And then if in that moment it feels like I can absolutely make this choice and I can choose right now to do the physio or call and cancel the appointment, see in that moment what actually feels like the doer in that situation. What sensations are there that are giving you the indication? And maybe it is like tightness in the jaw, and something else that feels like, I can do it. And it's like this like physical muscular contraction that seems to be reinforcing the possibility that you have made a decision and are going about setting that into action right now. See what in your five senses is actually conveying any of that information for you. And then let that be another first Fetter inquiry into the possibility of action, the possibility of doership.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Looking forward to hearing next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. There's a lot there.
Yeah.
It was good seeing you.
You as well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye.
And there's
Lorraine.
Lorraine.
Hello.
I'm glad to be here. Thank you both. I have a lot of gratitude for you both, your teachings. And I'm new to all of this with the Fetter work and this path just recently, a few months ago. I'm on the second Fetter, and watching your videos been very helpful to me. My question is...
I'm so sorry, man. I'm so sorry. So sorry.
The coordination is a bit off.
I'm so sorry.
What happened to the Stoic Buddha?
I'm sorry. You okay?
Yeah. Yeah. Completely
bent the glasses.
Completely bent. Sorry. We're getting back to you in a moment.
Yes, we're having coordination difficulties.
Okay.
Oh, so sorry. Okay. Second Fetter.
Yeah, you were saying.
I'm actually glad for that little bit of comic relief. Yeah, no. So I noticed, and this is probably going to be in the third Fetter. I'm guessing maybe it's premature, but what I'm noticing just is that I'm really caught up in a lot of routine.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing the fallacy of that too. For instance, like my day, I do the reading, I do the YouTubes, I do a lot of the inquiry and all this. And this has been my habit for years and years. Not this, but the habit has always been to balance things in the day. Would do the house cleaning, do the, the financial, whatever needs to be done, the, to break it up, the physical, make sure the body's taken care of, and, all these different things. And I'm seeing how, what is it? It's, I see that there's a stuckness about it, like it's stuck, by trying to do this balancing thing. I see that it's not really, I mean, intellectually or whatever, I'm getting that it's really not necessary, that the body will take care of itself. For instance, I go on vacation or friends come over and my routine changes and everything works out. You know what I mean? But yet there's still this this tie into these routines, and it's like an uncomfortable feeling if I get out of the routine of balancing the balancing act. Does that make any sense? It's like,
Yeah. It actually depends. Are you neurodivergent in any way?
Pardon?
Are you neurodivergent? Are you atypical, like autistic or ADHD or something like that?
Yes, my daughter says that I'm ADHD.
Okay.
She's a physician, but
Yeah.
So possibly, yes.
Because I'm autistic, and we have a thing about routines. We have a thing that it gives because we're so observant about everything all the time and seeing everything all the time. It helps with that alertness of noticing everything all the time if things are in certain positions. So for example, if our sofa is a bit out of where it normally is, I have to put it, because then it's not obstructing what I want. What, for example, if I'm looking for something, I can't look for that if things are out of place or if things are not, where it's supposed to be, then I can't see anything. So things need to be in a certain way. And it's the same if when we go shopping, it's really helpful for me that we go in the same route, because otherwise I forget things. If we go straight through the frozen, I will forget the cucumbers because we didn't pass them. If I need to get back to what was it we wanted to buy, I need to go back to the beginning of the store and go in the right sequence. Otherwise, I can't remember, because there's too much happening with people and smells and music and light and all of that. All of that is so distracting that I need to have some kind of structure, so I know that within that box I can move. And it's basically how routines work for neurodivergent people, that routines are creating a freedom to be normal. The issue with it is that when we start to do things for a purpose, I can only find things if the sofa is in the right place. Then everybody becomes victims for that. Do you hear the difference?
Yes, I this is what has been going on, is I've been thinking like, well, what if I don't do this routine? I'm gonna be okay, right? It's that yeah, I'm gonna be okay. What if I don't do it? But then I don't know. Then there's another side that says, well, then all this stuff won't get done. Everything will fall to hell, and all this also fear.
That's a bit of a different one. It's why I ask, because it's two different things. And when we talk about routines, it's two different things. There's the neurodivergent one where it's just about efficiency. If I have a routine of doing, for example, when we make lunch, I have very routine of what is done in a certain sequence. So if Todd suddenly take the kale and start to wash it, I don't know what to do, because I was supposed to wash the kale. So he needs to prompt me, but you can do the peppers or you can do the tomatoes. Okay, then I know, then I can pick it up from there, but I can't do it on my own. It's like getting a wet sock. He's laughed so much about it. Me so having a wet sock or a wet sleeve, everything stops. I don't know what to do. I've literally frozen in the situation, and I need a prompt to be helped on to the next step. But that is neurodiversity. The other thing we're talking about when we talk about routines is that we do things for a purpose. And that is when I exercise to stay healthy. I eat in a certain way not to lose weight. I save money so I'm safe in the future. That is the third fetter. That is where it starts to become a burden on our lives. And so it's two different things we're talking about. If you have that feeling that if you do not adhere to the routines and the rules, the way of doing it, then everything is just falling apart. That sounds like a third fetter, because then you are maintaining things as a diversion for something inner that is happening. That the moment everything is, neatly around you, then nobody can see that you are in internal chaos, for example. Or if you're not controlling everything, then you're going to find out that you are absolutely no control of anything. So it's finding out what is the motivation for the routines that you have.
Yes, I do sense that it is a lot to do with control and the sense of control and the doer.
Yeah.
And these things. And I really want to be free from all of that. I do. I really want to have the freedom from that. It's just
yeah. Wanting to be free of it it gives it a power that it actually doesn't have. Because when there's something that you don't want to have anymore, you're giving it a power. It's because it's a survival mechanism. It's a way of diverting from an underlying issue. So just getting rid of it means that the underlying issue will show its face. But if you work with the second fetter and you work with the third fetter and maybe circle back to the second fetter, you will sort it out. I will say to everyone, if you haven't done the third fetter, get back to the third fetter, because it's very much about all the diversions, distractions, and expectations that we have in life to different things. It's really an important fetter. Did you have anything you want to?
No, that was actually really good.
Yeah.
I think I would need more information to come up with something more specific.
Can I just have that glass?
Yeah.
My glasses are completely.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah, no, I think that was a really good intro to it, because it's really about getting into the fears and the anxiety and all of the stuff that is underneath that need to have that control, and follow it through. I mean, it might help to even make a list, like you said. Everything's going to fall to hell. Be specific. If I don't do this routine, exactly what fears come up. Yeah. And whatever you write down is going to be really insightful into the sorts of things that you're trying to avoid, the things that you feel like you can't deal with happening and that you don't want to happen. And I think you can get a lot of insight from that.
Yeah, I think that will be helpful. Yeah, I will do that. I'll make a list of that and to look at those fears specifically instead of it just being so out there.
Yeah.
So would you suggest that because I'm on the second fetters and I'm not on the third one, but so would you suggest that I experiment with not doing the certain habits or whatever and see what happens, experiment with that? Or
it can even be interesting just to do a mental experiment to tell yourself that you're not going to do them, and see that alone might be enough to trigger some feelings in the body and some resistances and some thoughts going, oh no, but I can't. So that alone, not even not doing them, but just thinking about not doing them might be enough to trigger it. And if not, or well, I mean, if so, go investigate that, follow those through. If it seems like, yeah, okay, I can do that, then give it a shot and see what actually happens. See if something else takes its place, because it might be that routine now doesn't have the same power that it did, but all of a sudden you find yourself doing some new behavior or something new that's still a distraction to that.
Exactly. That was exactly what I wanted to say, that we're not about changing anything or giving anything up or if you're doing something that you really don't want to do, then we are not the ones sitting and saying, well, you shouldn't do it.
Yeah.
Because that just emphasizes that there is an I that can do something, that there is an importance in doing or not doing. Where we want you to see all this from, by when we talk about going into every single room of the house, it is that doing or not doing, it doesn't matter. There's a mindset that is attached to doing or not doing that is creating an importance of doing or not doing. It's actually not about the action itself. So doing or not doing is not really relevant. It's enough for you just to do the mental practice about, okay, if I don't do it, what will happen? Write it down, all of that is assumptions, because all of this is happening in your mind. The whole suffering, the whole issue, the whole creating the something out of nothing, it's only in your mind. If you do not clean before guests are coming over, it's nothing. It just means that the house is not clean when the guests are coming over. You don't even know what it means for the people that are coming over that you haven't cleaned. They might even not see that you haven't cleaned.
It might be a relief for them. Like they don't feel like they have to guard themselves in a certain way. I mean, just like me bonking you with my elbow was for you a beneficial, ice-breaking relaxation moment of relieving the tension.
So just really stay aware of that. It's not about the action. It's about the attachment and the identification to the action. That's the issue.
Yes, that helps me in so many other areas of my life too, regarding behaviors and so on, that again, of that push-pull, it's just like, and it drives me crazy. And so that is, very helpful. I'm going to listen to this again, probably, you know what I mean? Again.
Good
idea. Because I don't always get the first time.
No, but it's also now you're on the spot and sitting there, and then there's another layer, so it's completely good. And then use Discord. Write on Discord that you have this issue with seeing through, and hear what experiences the other in the community they have. It's always useful to see this from different angles, because all we're doing is shining a light on the delusion that it counts if you do or if you don't do.
Right.
It's just a delusion. It doesn't matter. Either way, it doesn't matter.
Right. Yes, that rings so true. So true. So true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Good.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Both of you. I love you both.
Thank you. Thank you.
We'll see you soon.
And then it's Susan.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. Thank you. And I have two physical things that have perplexed me for years. So I want to explain them. I think I have to stand up to show you where on my body. So hopefully I won't. One is my, and I'm wearing a dress, of course, which makes it weirder. But one is the back. Again, let me see if I can do it. The back of my heels right here, this area.
Yeah, the Achilles,
Yeah, it can, well, I have two. So I'm going to tell you both now so I can sit back down. But that area can get so tight so fast. And I'm always trying to stretch it. But, and then like right now, it's not super tight in this moment at all, but it's so weird. Like I can lie down for an hour and it'll be super tight afterward. And so I'm always wondering and I'm always trying to stretch it. And then my other thing is, right here on my leg, this leg right here, for decades, every so often I get like a really sharp pain, and it cannot happen for months, but it's been decades. It feels like a nerve pain.
Yeah.
And I just wondered if you could shed some light and maybe help me release those.
The first thing I want to say is that Todd is going to put a link into a massage gun that we have that is really, really good. That would help you, because a lot of times when you have tensions like that and it just keeps staying and staying and staying, it's because it's not so much muscular. It can be a tendon, it can be ligament, or it can be fascia. So no matter how much massage you get, you don't really get to the point, but that massage gun is really, really good. If we start with the Achilles muscle first, you have two parts of the Achilles, and both of them are attached under the heel. The first one is from the bone and to a muscle, and the next one is the muscle out to the skin. And normally when we stretch, we only stretch the outer one. I wanted to stretch the inner one because it's probably the one that is the issue. And do you know how to stretch the calf? When you say that you have done stretching, how have you done it?
Oh, what I always do is I just if I'm like lying in bed and I don't have something to push on, I just flex my heel.
Okay.
But the other thing is like I have a little pad that's an angle, and I'll just stand on that and stretch it.
Perfect. Because when you're standing and you're standing on steps and you have your heels down, or you're standing up and you have one foot behind the other and the leg is straight, then you stretch. Yeah, exactly. That is the outer muscle. The inner muscle is stretched by bending the knee. So the exact same exercise, when you're standing on the pillow, you start out with the straight legs where you feel the stretch, and then you bend your knees. Then you're stretching the inner muscle, which might be the one that is creating the issues for you.
Oh, interesting. And do you know, go ahead.
Yeah, the age for this is the standing up and standing tall, and this is where I stand, and this is me, and so it's all the stumping exercises from the retreat in the material.
The stomping exercises, is that what you said?
Yes. Were you at the retreat?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You were, yeah. So basically day 6, 6 and 7th fetter, and 4 and 5. It's that stumping. Where you're standing. I did a pathetic attempt in the material to stomp. I don't really have that much aggression in me, so I couldn't really do it proper. But it's that, where you put on the drum music that Todd he made, and you stomp and you stomp and you scream and you shake and you and it's about boundaries, and I'm standing here and no, and and you can, when you're standing and stumping, for every stump you do hard into the ground, you say no. So really so you mark that I am here, I'm standing here, and then when you get the massage gun, if you get it, I would like for you to massage under your foot. If you take your foot up, the leg where you have the Achilles issue, it was the right leg, right?
The Achilles issue is in both, and then the left leg has the it's really in both, and then the left leg has the nerve thing.
Okay, so if you take just any of the feet up on your, and then you massage, how do I explain that part?
Well, it's under the arch.
Yeah, under the arch of the foot. Take your foot up. So yeah, exactly. And then under take my sock off here. And then under the arch here.
Under the whole arch, like the whole entire
on the whole entire arch, push with your thumbs in. Like you're like
computer down.
Like you are like pushing.
Okay.
You feel that there, and if you wiggle your toes a bit, you can feel a muscle that is tensing up.
Yes.
Yes.
Like more on the edge of the, well, yeah.
In my guess, it would be around here.
Yeah. Yeah, I can feel that.
If you push in there and you massage that area, and then you can push the heel away, so you activate around the Achilles, because it might be from your foot, it might be your shoes that is giving that issue. when you get the massage gun, then massage exactly that muscle.
Yeah. Great.
The inner thigh one, is it the one you feel when you sit cross-legged? Is it then when you put a thumb on your thigh and you massage out from the thigh, up from the hip and out to the knee? Is that the muscle?
The easiest thing for me to do is just show you, because I never really, I mean, it happens so fast, but it's like, it literally is like almost in the middle of this. Yeah, like the middle of here.
Yeah.
And it comes down. So it's like right where there's kind of this bigger muscle here, like right at the bottom, it looks like.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. If you, oh my God. If you have,
thank you.
If you put your hand on your knee.
Okay.
And then if you put your, no, like that. So you put your hand like that. Yeah. Where your ring finger is, if you walk with the other finger down to the muscle that is just below the ring finger.
Oh, here?
Yes. There's a spot a bit up. There's a spot there, a bit down, which is sore. Further down, for a bit more there. Around that area, there's a spot that is sore.
Yes.
Yes. Sit and massage that.
Okay. Okay. So it's right, like here's his bone, and then it's kind of under this bone here and to the left.
Yeah, it's kind of like here. Right, yeah, a bit right under. Yeah, exactly.
There's like a little indent right there.
Yeah, exactly. If you massage that muscle there, it connects with the thigh.
Okay.
And again, when you get the massage gun, massage that spot, and then massage from the hip and all the way down to the knee with the massage gun as well. On the inside. No, I know.
On the inside.
Yeah, I know it's so confusing that it's crossing over, but it is. So you massage with the massage gun on the inside where the pain is on your thigh, and then you take the massage gun to that point as well. On the outside, yeah.
Yeah.
But it is about stumping and screaming and yelling and standing up and marking your boundary and saying no.
Okay. The nerve one is the same as the same genre.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. Same period.
And you said it's like 2 and 3. It's like when the little, maybe I didn't say no enough, or like, I think of like the 2-year-olds learning no.
Yeah, or weren't allowed, to have your own opinion and
yeah. Thank you so much.
But the stories are not really relevant.
Yeah.
It's not really relevant. It's more relevant that you can meet the need that the body has now.
It's exciting because it's been decades. So thank you. I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah.
Please do.
And then we're in Discord. We're gonna put the link in for
the massage gun.
Yeah, for that particular one. It is a bit expensive compared to others.
It's about $100.
About $100.
Yeah.
But it's really, really good, and it's a professional one, but you need proper tools when you're working with this.
Right. Thank you so much.
You're so welcome.
Good seeing you.
Yeah.
I'm showing this one too, because this is a little travel one.
Oh, cool.
That is also pretty efficient. It's very, very, very all different speeds and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not into all of them.
We ordered one and it went back. Oh, no, thank you.
I'm very picky when it comes to stuff like that. So I'm gonna share the one that we recommend, or
do you want me to put it up quickly? Like I think I can find it quickly. If you just hold on a second.
I'm still gonna put it in Discord. So
yeah, for sure.
For the people recording, watching the recording.
I'll have it in just a moment. There it is.
There we go.
Yeah, I think it went up in price actually.
I don't think it did.
Well, I think we got it on sale. Here it is.
So that one is really good, and it has lots of different features, and but that can be used both for muscle and tendon, ligaments, and fascia.
Most of them we found didn't really do fascia.
No.
Interesting.
So far we found it to be really good.
Yeah.
It's very heavy.
Wait, did you put it up? Did I miss it?
It's in the chat. Did it not come up?
It's in the chat.
Okay, but no, I think I'm just not up on the chat. Okay, here we go. Okay. Wonderful. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
of course.
It's super heavy, but it's really good also for people that have issues with the back. It's really good because, for example, a lot of issues that we can have when we can't, like Sunny talked about, issues with breathing in proper and can't breathe in proper. Very often it's the muscles between the ribs that is the issue. And when you're using that gun, you can use it where you kind of like take your shoulder out to the side like that and put it between the shoulder blades. And then you get both the rhomboids that are between the shoulder, but you can also reach in between the ribs and massage there. And that helps a lot on inhalation and issues if you have issues where you are, with fight, flight, freeze, fawn, anything with the nervous system where that inhalation has happened in your life. Also, if you are, adult child of abuse or anything where you have that inhalation shock, reaction, then it's really good to massage between the ribs. And that one is good for that as well. So it's a very useful one. And it's not a promotion.
Yeah,
we're not.
We just bought one.
We bought one and really like it.
So if the makers of it happen to see this, and that is so likely.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, then we would like everybody to get a discount.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Susan.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then we have Janet. Hello.
Hi. Just real quick.
Yeah.
I think it was like I don't know, a couple calls ago or a while back now. I said something like, I don't have a career anymore and I want something different and I don't know what to do and I don't know what I like. And I think Pernille, you just said, yeah, we always know what we don't like, but we don't know what we like, right? Like that's kind of common. So then when I was journaling, I just started, writing like, what did I feel expansive around or inspired around, or whether I could do it or not, or it meant money, or, kind of those typical, I think, exercises that they kind of recommend. And so I had started doing that pretty often. And, I like animals and nature and creativity and stuff I've never done before. And then the strangest thing happened that it became like not a focus anymore. Like it became like it doesn't, not a desire.
Yeah.
Which was totally unexpected. I guess what I expected or what my brain expected was to get something out of it, right? Like I'm going to get a new career out of this or something.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But what came out of it was like
you're setting
it free.
Yeah.
That.
I love it. You're setting it free. Instead of holding tight onto it and having expectations and doing things for a certain outcome and all of that, you just allow it to be, as it is. And there's no attachment for it to be in a certain way or something specifically happen. And that is just freedom.
Yeah.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice. Yeah. And now it's just sort of, and it's not some romantic glossy thing that the moment's present, always imperfect or anything. It's just
a freedom.
It's all okay.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's what equanimity, maybe, but it's just kind of all okay.
Yeah.
Okay is good.
Okay, it's really good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Anyway, I just wanted to share that.
I'm so happy you did. I'm so happy you did, because it's super relevant. Also, what we talked about earlier with Anna was she was like, but I had these expectations of it being something like when we are learning to journal, to manifest and all of that, we have like an intrinsic expectation of, you know, the dream job coming with $1 million payout at the end of it. So it's not free at all. What we are talking about is freedom, setting things free to be as they are. And it's just beautiful and wonderful and unexpected and liberating and expansive. And yeah.
And it feels like the other side, right? Like it's easy to want freedom from the difficult, negative things and whatever, but for me, it's really a first to have freedom from not having a purpose, so to speak.
Yeah.
Like that's a big one for me, right? In this culture, especially, right? Like, what am I doing today? What's my purpose? When you don't have a job in this society and you don't have children to raise. You know,
such a stigma against it. And it's absolutely crazy. We can trace it back to some of its roots.
The days just go by like they go by, you know, and some days it's a lot of cleaning and some days it's going to do some other stuff and some days it's not. And yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's a real realization to me to have freedom from like all those ideas when I'm not thinking that I need to have a job or to have a purpose and I need to have a bigger mission and what's my worth in life and what's it all going to mean. It's fine.
Wonderful. Completely. Congratulations. That's wonderful. Just wonderful. Thank you for coming on and sharing.
Absolutely.
I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Good seeing you.
Yeah. Okay, I think that's it then.
I think so.
Because you have a session and you need to rest before.
I need to rest before that.
Nope, let's just there we go. There we go. Thank you so much, everyone.
So good to see you all.
Yeah, so good to see you all. Remember next week on Friday.
Came.
Oh, Sophie. Hi, Sophie.
Hi. Glad you made it.
Remember next week, Friday, it's the Q&A and it's on YouTube that we have it, where you write your questions either on YouTube if you're members, or you can write it on Discord if you're not members ahead of time, if you can't participate or if you don't want to be members. So that's an option. And then remember, next week 8 Fetter starts, and it is not obligatory in any way to do the 8 Fetter. If you are happy and enjoying life and feel connected with the universe and everything, please do not do the 8 Fetter. Wait until 9 Fetter come and then
I wasn't clear at the very beginning. My computer was not quite working yet. When you were talking about the 8 Fetter on Monday, what is that, a separate class or what is?
It's every Monday for the last 2 years, a new lesson for the curriculum has been released.
Oh.
And on Monday, it's the first lesson in the 8 Fetter.
Okay.
Feel free to
but if you're doing your own and you're right now with the 4th and the 5th, it doesn't really matter for you.
Okay. That's part of the awakening curriculum, you mean?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. But it's just for the ones that are now in the sequence, they're finishing the 7th Fetter, they're waiting for the 8th Fetter. It's for all of them that I'm telling them not to do it if they're happy in life. Only do it if they're not.
And then I had one question on the Tuesday, and maybe I should wait on Tuesday, but on the Discord, I couldn't figure out how to, I can ask a question on YouTube though, but I couldn't figure out how to ask a question on Discord.
Okay.
I couldn't figure out what you were within Discord on Tuesday, but maybe.
Okay, it's not on Tuesday, it's on Friday. That's the first thing.
Oh, Friday, yeah.
Yes. And the second thing is, in Discord, under all the threads, there's one that is called Friday Q&A questions.
It's a text chat.
It's a text chat, yeah.
So it's just,
okay, great.
So you just write your question there. But if you're a member of the YouTube channel, then it just be on YouTube on Friday at 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Not this Friday, next Friday at 12 o'clock. And then you will automatically be part of it. And you just ask your question in the text chat.
And I really loved that form. I loved it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for trying. Thank you for just trying something new and seeing how it goes. And
yeah,
and hearing our feedback, and it's really fun.
Yeah.
We aim to please.
Yeah, but it's
and you do,
none
and
of
you do.
no, but none of this would be happening if it wasn't for you guys. We would just be sitting in the sofa and talking to
Talking to each other.
ourselves. So it's all for you. It's all for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a great
Thanks to everyone.
Have a
Lovely
great week,
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.